Hello, everybody. What's up? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar. Hi, guys. Yes, I know I've been extremely scarce. As you know, I'm on tour in the UK. I'm on tour in London. I've completed 2 shows. I have 2 more shows, one coming up this very Saturday, Waltham's Cross, that's in Enfield. That is on the 29th. I'll actually be supporting a fellow artist, a Royals artist. I'm part of a music organization, talent organization called Royal Hills International. So we will be performing this weekend. And next weekend, I will be at an African festival in Luton. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. Some of you guys have come out to see me at the shows. I saw some of you in Bedford. Much love to the African Superstar family. Today, I want to talk about a topic. It's kind of come up. It's something that obviously I spend a lot of time contemplating on. And that is there's only 2 ways in life. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. Guys, if you're here, please make your presence be known in the chat room, like the stream. Yes, I have been very scarce because I'm busy with my music tour. Yes. So I'm busy up and down with the music tour and everything in between. I want to give a special shout outs to obviously Nunu hosting me here in the UK for my stay. Much love to the family, everybody, all the music lovers. Yes, everybody shopping at the AfricanSuperstar.com, our members only who support our platform on a monthly basis. What's up, guys? Anybody there? Hello. I see you in terms of numbers, but I don't see anyone in the chat room. I know it's probably early in America if you guys are over there. Yes, it is noon here in the UK, 11 p.m. in Ghana. So big shout outs, guys. Today I want to talk about there's only 2 ways in life. This topic is actually motivated by, my personal lifestyle. Thank you so much. What's up, ATM Tim, first in the chat room? Big shout outs to you. Good morning. This is motivated naturally by my own personal journey and a topic that came up in one of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of. So basically, in this Facebook group, the moderator, he's a Nigerian man, and he was saying that his nephew has expressed a big interest into construction and civil engineering, and he's got really high marks in school, close to a 4.0 GPA average. And his mom is telling him, you're wasting your time going into construction. You should focus on a more academic career. So that's the first part. The second part is obviously the road that I've chosen. I've chosen to kind of live an unconventional lifestyle, venture onto the continent, trying to figure it out, trying to sort it out, trying to, becoming an entrepreneur, trying to locate skills within myself that can be profitable, that can help me, take care of my needs and everything. So I kind of got into this discussion on this Facebook group. And I would say probably like 97% of the people were, siding with the mom and saying, because the man put it up there and he was like, well, what do you guys think about this? And 97% of the people, other Africans, a lot of Nigerian people naturally are in this group. And they were all like, yeah, going into construction, it's tedious, it's hard. You might be outside. I mean, they seem to think that if you're going into construction, you're going to actually be the physical builder. They don't think in concept of you being the CEO of the construction firm, you doing some of the other functions within the construction firm. They just literally think of you doing manual work. And I think our people are very groomed psychologically to see themselves as employees. They see themselves as, they see running a business or finding a trade or cultivating a skill as a difficult thing. And they rather just take the job, and they rather, kind of leave all of the infrastructure to someone else. And this is very, very detrimental, because in reality, guys, there's only 2 ways in life. Okay. It's either you are the follower, you are the leader, or you are the follower. So naturally, I got into this group and I said, similar to what I've said, I said, we are so geared to academics and becoming a slave In reality, trades are so extremely valuable. You know what I mean? Like, it gives you freedom. They're also internationally transferable. You know, if you do construction in America, you can come do it in the UK. You can come do it in Africa. You can go do it in Asia. All right. A lot of us with these academic degrees, when you move to different countries, they want you to get recertified. They want you to go and do more coursework. They won't honor your accolades and all of this stuff, which is like further a setback rather than, okay, if you know how to do pouring cement, you know how to do hair, you know how to repair cars, you know how to do all of these things that we pay an arm and a leg for, mind you. Okay, because when the time comes for you needing a tradesman, big shout outs, we have several of you in here. When it comes for you actually utilizing a tradesman, all right, anybody who has done any of these things, let me see a number one. You go to a barber, okay? You go to a hairdresser, you go to a nail shop, you need a mechanic, you need a plumber, okay? You need an architect, all right? Any of these services, landscaping, you know what I mean? You need any of these type of services, you pay an arm and a leg for it, and guess what? You cannot get around it. You cannot get around it unless you have that skill yourself. You've got to pay these folks who do this trades an arm and a leg 9 times out of 10. I just had to repair my computer. Since I've been in the UK, I've had a series of repairs and ridiculous. My phone went in the toilet. You know what I mean? I had to get that fixed. My laptop, the screen messed up in transit. I had to get that replaced. When the time comes for you to utilize a tradesman, you spend big money. Not only that, when it comes to construction, especially for an African person, you should know that the continent of Africa is the future. And most nations on the continent are developing, which means they need what? Builders. If any of you guys are doing any type of building on the continent, you know that you're paying money for that. You're paying money for the architect. You're paying money for the logistics. You're paying money for the building materials. You're paying money for the land and everything, the equipment needed. It's so very extremely profitable. And it's a shame that we feel that it's so difficult to create, you know, the infrastructure for that opportunity. We rather just come in and work and be paid. There's only 2 ways in life, guys. This is why I have also chosen to carve my own path, because I realized that the other path is a life of slavery. You know, I don't care if you are a PhD holder, you're still in a life of slavery unless you decide to carve your own path. And we have this cop out, in my opinion. Well, everybody's not an entrepreneur. You know, everybody can't do. It's such a cop out. And it's the reason why our people are the consummate workforce. Consummate workforce. Because we find that doing business is too difficult. We rather take the back seat. You have never seen, listen, these other ethnicities, do you think they really like running business? Do you think that they're just more suited to do business? You think the Chinese are more suited to do business? You think the Lebanese are more suited to do business? You think the Indians, the Koreans, you know, the Mexicans, you just think that they're equipped with some kind of additional DNA gene that makes them good at business? No. What makes them good at business is the decision that they want to be good at business. They want to invest in learning trades, running business, finance, business management, whatever. Okay. They invest in generational businesses. They invest in training up their children to take that path. We're the only ones that don't see the importance of this and understand that this is the foundation of the community. I have decided that I rather carve my own path. All right. Sacrifice, invest, whatever, to build my own foundation, to build my own. Okay. I know I could take a job. I know that. I know that. But I realize that that is going to take me on the long road of menial living. Because if we're honest, guys, if we're honest, working most of these jobs, most of these professional jobs, even if you are a master's degree holder, even if you have, a several level up job, management or director or something, a lot of these jobs, it's simply hand to mouth. The money that you're earning is sustenance money. Okay. It's there to ensure that you're going to work 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. Okay. Because to give you that lump sum, to give you money enough to have excess might lead you to the other options of other means. Okay. If you could raise the capital that you need, like several of you guys that watch me, you want to venture onto the continent. All right. And one of the biggest hindrances to you is money, right? You need money to create the move. You need money to sustain yourself. Being able to, generate what you need would help you get further. You find that working your normal 9-to-5 job, there's no additional money, right? There's no savings money. There's no money for plane tickets. There's no money for shipping. There's no money for this and that and the other. This is the secret reason why many diasporans cannot survive on the continent. Okay, because they have the employee mindset. And even if they raise up a lump sum of money before they travel or whatever, you have either got to create your path, guys, create some type of income means, or you are going to be subject to looking for a job. This is the answer to why many people on the continent, although there are abundance of opportunities and resources around them, they're not even looking into that. They're looking into going for a job. They're looking into going for higher education so that they can go get a job instead of cultivating their own path. Finding a business, finding something that you can do. It doesn't even take a lot of rocket science. I am getting into the entrepreneur game extremely late in life, in my opinion. I was never formally educated to do the things that I'm doing. Public speaking, a skill that I have, but have perfected through, I would say, my social media. When it comes to public speaking, it's a matter of repetition. You know what I mean? The more you do it, the more comfortable you become facing people. You get different tips of the trade and all of that stuff. Okay. Doing the music, again, something that never formally trained, teaching myself how to do it, how to write music, rehearsing a lot, so that my voice sounds good and my recordings sound good, and, kind of collaborating with other people that have the skill set. Okay. Social media. Certainly none of us in my generation, there was no kind of education on social media and how to utilize it. All these things are skills that you teaching yourself. Obviously building my website. For those of you that have never been to the www.theafricansuperstar.com, I built that website myself through Wix.com. Okay. I did train at ITT Tech. I did my schooling there, computer networking, project management. I did at ITT Tech, but I built my own website. Okay. To my own specs. I designed all the clothes, all the pieces. I did the designs for them. Okay. So these are things that I taught myself. And the reality is, if you are employed by someone else, the idea that you cannot do your own business is crazy, because you're doing services for other people. You're doing functions that support someone else's business. And if you were smart, you would protege. Okay. If you were smart, you would protege in those businesses and try to learn the tricks of the trade. There's a lot of success stories in Ghana in regards to people that were in the diaspora doing various functions. And all they did was come back to Ghana or go to Nigeria or go to, Senegal, go to Kenya, whatever, replicate what they were doing in their jobs, wherever they were, and set up the business. And we see setting up the business as such a hassle. But there's only two options: work for someone else or set up the business. You know, we've got to change our perspective, because either road that you take is not going to be easy. Okay. When you work for someone, you got everything that goes along with that. You got to hold your tongue a lot of times. You got to see things that you don't like. You have to, put in extra time. You got to be around people you don't like. You got to wear certain clothes to the office. They control your social media, what you can and can't say, all kinds of things. There's a lot of associated costs with working a job. So yes, there's going to be associated costs with your business, but the opportunity that you have to scale is so much larger in business. So much larger in business. I'm telling you. Yes, when you start a business, to get it going, you're going to put in a lot of sacrifice and investment. It might take you a few years or whatever to get everything going. You might try business and fail at the business. You might lose money. You might make mistakes. You're going to have to pour in time. You're going to have to, in my case with the music, I finance all the videos, I finance the photography, I finance the travel, everything. Even my tour here in the UK, it's a promo tour. Okay. Which means I'm not paid for my shows. But I realized that the exposure was extremely valuable. Touring in a major city, getting exposed to the audience out here is very important. So it's a sacrifice that I decided to make. When the day comes that I get a big song or I get a big opportunity, guess who's going to reap? Guess who's going to reap? And that's what we don't understand. Okay. You either going to, you can reap it how you want to reap it. If you want to work, then you're looking at maybe the long picture. Okay. You are going to live hand to mouth, have that stability, which working jobs doesn't even really provide you the stability anymore. Not in our day and age. And so I just wanted to send this message out to other people that are carving their path. Undoubtedly, you will be frustrated on that path. Undoubtedly, you will wonder how you're going to be able to do this and that. And you might even ask yourself the question, well, should I just go back into, the conventional lifestyle? You need to determine if you can. I'm at a point right now where my mental well-being really will not be able to tolerate full-time working currently, which means that I gotta carve the path. And I'm very, very determined to carve my path because I want to be unapologetically Gina. That is one of the things I want. And I realize that to be unapologetically yourself is a huge, it's a huge sacrifice, because nearly every facet of society is trying to get you to conform, and if you don't want to, then it makes you kind of like the rebel. And there's punishments for rebels. There's sanctions for rebels. There's defamation of character for rebels. There's resistance to, rebels, because they want to force you to do what they want you to do. So if you rebel against that, then the alternative means you got to do it on your own. You got to carve your path. Big shout out to the family. All right, let's see who's in the chat room, who has greeted me today. Make sure you like the stream. Guys, there's only 2 ways. Okay, so needless to say, in this chat room that I'm a part of, I was definitely a minority voice saying that the mother should let the boy, if the boy has an interest in it, it can be a very profitable future for him, and she should not direct him into a life of slavery, okay, a life of debt, and essentially a life of lack. Because many cases when you are in this hand-to-mouth life, okay, you get an illness, you get a mishap, you get an emergency, you have lack, okay? They've already put out the statistics of how many Americans can't even survive like a month or 2 of being unemployed. They have no savings. And so that means if they lose their job or they get sick or they miss a beat, immediately the car is getting repossessed. Immediately the house is going into foreclosure. Immediately they can't afford the rent. They're getting evicted. They can't afford the tuition for their kids' schools or food, and it shouldn't be that you are so close to the line of, homelessness or survival, but that's how it is. I made the point in the group that I've never seen an elderly person in a nail shop doing nails. Have you? I've never seen an elderly mechanic, hubbled over, can't even, trying to work on cars because he says he can't afford to retire. Now, I've seen those folks in Walmart. I've seen them in, when I worked at the bank at JP Morgan, I've seen them in the call centers. They're kind of like, I wanted to retire, but I can't afford it. People in the post office, these folks with these long-term jobs, bus drivers. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. What's up, guys? Only 2 ways to do it. Either you're going to do it or you're going to be done. That's it. Big shout outs to ATM Tim. He says construction is where it's at. It's so much building going on worldwide. Absolutely. ATM Tim says, I do electrical work and I'm thinking about bringing my talents to Africa. S.A. Smith is in the building. Big shout outs. Good morning, Wendy Chin. I see you there. Thank you so much. Hello, Mr. Jacob. Thank you so much. What's up? Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Miss Jackson is with me. Hello. That's my homegirl in Ghana. Big shout outs to Miss Jackson in the building. What's up, Antonio? I see you in the building today. I'm just trying to send this message out. Like I said, I know that the road less traveled is absolutely the road less traveled. I know that people that believe that they can carve their own path in the world, that they don't need someone else to, kind of dictate to them life. I know that we are a minority. Most people feel that they don't have the wherewithal. Most people feel like they need leadership. Most people feel like they need infrastructure to govern their life. I know that we're not all good in everything. Okay, we're not all good in, like, quite frankly, none of you come out of the womb with knowing how to do much. Sometimes you do have talents, sometimes you can run fast, sometimes you're very artistic, sometimes you have great intellect, or you have a great voice to sing, or, you have innate skills undoubtedly. But a lot of times you will have to teach yourself how to do things. And I would encourage those of you that are out in the diaspora that are really thinking about Africa, let me tell you something, all right? You will need to know how to survive. Yes, there's a lot of resources in Africa. Yes, there's a lot of opportunity in Africa, but you got to know how to plug in and tap in. Okay, you got to study the market. This is something that I have done with my music, because I realized that there are very, very, very few Western artists currently using Afro beats in their music. Okay, in addition to the continent's love of foreigners. And so I have kind of combined these two things to give myself a very unique springboard. And as you guys can see, I'm taking off, because I have a niche market. Mailman. Dropped off the mail. So you've got to study where you can actually be effective, where you can be, an expert in that area, where you can kind of stand out and shine using your advantages. You know what I mean? I know that, for instance, coming to tour in London, that's a big deal to people in Ghana. I've already been contacted by some radios and stuff like that. Like, oh, wow, when you get back to Ghana from your tour, we want to have you. We want to, various things waiting for me when I get back in Ghana, because that international exposure put me on their radar. You see, now I have an ability to travel and things like that, whereas a lot of local based artists in Ghana, they don't have the same fluidity when it comes to being able to just pick up and go. These are advantages. The diaspora has to figure out how to move forward. Okay. We've got to change the game, break these chains off, and realize, okay, the foundation of generational wealth is business. Business. And yes, the most of us are going to start with jobs. Okay. Maybe depending on your family background and all that, you may not have a lot of resources. So you've got to generate your own capital. You've got to whatever, or you've got to go to school and learn these skills, and you need to work a job to survive in the meantime. Use it as seed money. Use it as capital. Okay. Use it as exposure. Use it as apprenticeship to get what you need and then figure it out. If you're still in the West and you plan to go to Africa, maybe teach yourself a trade. Maybe figure out something that you can do. Okay. If you want to buy a farm, a lot of people talk about buying farms and doing farms. Do you know anything about agriculture? This is what you could be spending your time doing. And everything is not necessarily in depth available on social media as well. There's still some value in professional training for those things. Okay. So if you want to do a 6-month course or a year course or some kind of, certification or something like that, just to give you the competitive edge, look at, areas in the market that have those gaps and try to fill them. That's what business essentially is. Business essentially is finding a problem and creating the solution. Depending on how big the problem is, and you provide that solution, it can be very, very profitable. Or you can just operate the small everyday business, but you're still the one in control. You're still the one who is managing your affairs. And if you're not as great, then make sure you get a good team to help you catapult your business. Okay. If you're not great in marketing, look for a specialist. If you need help with accounting, look for, someone who can help you do these things well. But you have to always monitor these people as well to make sure that they're functioning properly. There's only 2 ways, guys. And we need to just start being straight with our families, with our people. Okay. We cannot do what we expect to do as employees. We can't do it. What we expect to do in Africa, we can't do it. What Africa needs is business owners. Okay. What Africa needs is infrastructure. What Africa needs is an infusion of income. We can't do that as employees. Okay. We're limited. Even if you want to work all the overtime in the world, that capital is going to fly out of your hands when you go. That's why you see some of your favorite YouTubers. I moved to Ghana. Now I'm moving back home after 6 months, after maybe a year, because their reserves have been depleted and they don't have money coming in. Okay. Maybe apart from YouTube. And then if you are a YouTuber, let me say this. If a lot of your money is coming from online, even remote work or things like that, listen, okay, nothing good lasts forever. Use that money to do something tangible. Use that money to do something tangible. This is yet another reason why I'm segueing into music, because that is something I tangibly can do. I can tangibly go perform. I can do shows. I can do whatever with my music. Tangible. All right. I've already been through YouTube, taking down my channel, wiping out all my content, over 1,000 videos when they took my first platform, and I had to start down from scratch. I don't want to be in that situation. We are geared to do everything cyberly. And, that puts us at a huge disadvantage if you really think about it, because with just one click, one wipe, they can just wipe away your entire online presence. So if you don't have anything tangible, it's a shame. If you are a big YouTuber and you're making very decent income, please, I welcome you. I challenge you to translate that into something tangible. If you're in Africa, buy lands, invest in property, maybe get a car, operate it for Bolt and Uber, start a business, whatever. Do something tangible with your income that you're getting from social media, period. Because, they're always reinventing things and figuring out how to basically weed us out of the opportunities of springboarding, okay? Because they want the majority of society to be a part of the workforce, okay? And leave the high tiers for the high rollers. That's how it has always been, and that's how they want it to be. Every now and then, there's anomalies that manage to slip through the cracks of these various things. You know, like I know when I was driving Uber, when I first started driving Uber, which was around 2014, 15. I drove it till I moved to the UK in 2017. I was killing it on Uber. I easily made $100 a day, you know, driving Uber, because I was one of the few drivers in Columbus at that time. So basically, I mean, my rides were just back to back to back to back to back. From what I understand now, several years later, you know, it's not that as profitable as it was when I was doing it. That's the same thing with social media. You know, when it first started, you know, TikTok is still relatively new, Instagram, Twitter, you know, you have these anomalies that kind of go through the loopholes and they go straight to the top. And then they start refining the process and they start putting in more parameters and they start putting in more restrictions. And, you know, you hear them say, oh, the algorithm has changed. That means your income has been impacted. They figured out a way to reduce how much ever income that you're being paid for their benefit. And that's how life works. So that's the situation we're also in on the continent right now. Those of us that are venturing on right now before it becomes huge and widespread, we have an opportunity to kind of slip through the cracks and carve our path now. Okay. 10 years from now, the same opportunities that are there right now are not going to be available in 10 years. It's a fact. Okay. Every opportunity is once in a lifetime. Don't let anybody talk you out of opportunities that you're well poised to take. And so I would say to any of my younger viewers that are considering their future, please, I encourage you to do a trade. I know that your family and friends, society, even people in academia will promote you to go for these jobs. Listen, please find something that you can do. If you have a natural talent, you're a writer, you're a speaker, you're an artist, you're a musician, you know, you're a dancer, whatever. If you choose to continue your education, center it around your skill set, you know, refining and perfecting your skill to make yourself be more marketable and more profitable. Okay. You loving art and then professionally training to be, you know, an architect or, you know, an accountant, something that you're not really, your heart is not into, is doing yourself a disservice. You can petition your parents that whatever it is that you have an interest can also be profitable with the right, you know, supporting factors around you, you know, because certainly I think about it all the time. I had no interest in film or editing or anything like this. Had I done courses on that, that would be so much more valuable for me in terms of my social media. Obviously with the music, I had no interest in music at all, but maybe doing voice lessons or, you know, these kind of things, or learning the behind the scenes of the business, how, you know, royalties work and all these kind of things, that would have been valuable. But I was busy putting all my energy into you know, my undergraduate degree, project management, computer networking. Those things have served me, though. I would say project management is valuable in what I do in terms of being able to, you know, facilitate my needs and kind of link and do the logistics. I'm very, very good at that, which is why I'm able to manage most of everything I do. You know, from my website to my social media to my music, I'm the CEO of everything because I know how to manage it all. As far as the computer networking, it did help in regards to me building my website and understanding how those things work. But I mean, you know, I really didn't have a handle on what I really wanted to do. I just knew I needed to have a job. And, you know, that was my mindset. Nobody ever talked to me about doing a trade. Nobody ever said what I'm saying, which is, Gina, you have two options. You either do your own thing or you will work for someone else forever. It was just like working for someone else is the prevailing option. You know, and I think it's a disservice that we do with our young people. We don't even put it on the table. And some kids are not students as well. You know, some kids are not suited for academia. They struggle, you know, they have learning disorders and all this kind of stuff. And they bore, you know, they bore with reading and tests and the whole, you know, monotony of school versus they like hands-on or they're very talented. And we don't cultivate that stuff. But that stuff is what's going to take us far on the continent. Okay, because these other foreigners that are coming to Africa, they're not coming for a spiritual reconnecting, and they're not coming for love on the continent, and they're not coming to be YouTubers. Okay, they're coming with business and industry. They're coming to survey, you know, the horizon and see where they can plug in. They're coming to see, oh yeah, I can put this event center here. I can start this business over here. Oh, they need this and that over here. Oh, they need roads. Oh, they need housing. That's what they're coming to do. Okay. And if we don't take care, we're going to be in the same situation on the continent that we are out in the West, because we don't want to start business. We don't want to figure out how to start business. Okay. We don't want to take the sacrifice of starting business. You're either going to do it for yourself or you're going to be done. That's it. That's it. So for those of us out here making our own path, doing it our own way, and not apologizing about it, shout outs to you today. Yes. With that being said, if you are here in the UK, you have 2 more options to see me before I leave. Let me get the details for you. What's up, family? S.A. Smith is in the building. Hey, you guys can show some love on this video. Make sure you like the video, support the video. Make sure you support the African Superstar. Have you added me to your streams? Have you done the necessary? Okay, I'm just looking for these ads. I think I will post it on the community tab. I did speak to some of the African Superstar family has already contacted me and said they will be at this show. So this is the current show. This man in the middle, his name is Kofi Nat, and he is a very well-known high life artist here. So high life music is, you know, I would say West African music. They have high life from Nigeria. They have high life from Ghana. And this man has been making music for, probably close to 2 decades here in the UK. He's very well known. He came actually to support me at my show. He performed at my show. So special shout outs to Kofi Nat and all the other Royal Hills entertainers. I'm going to be opening for him. Let's see here. Hello. Do you see the African Superstar on the bill? That's me down there. Yes. Okay. So the location of the event is Rhapsodies Club and Restaurant. That's at Waltham Cross. And the postcode is EN87BU. So the program starts around, you know, they put 8. The program's from 8 to 1 a.m. You know, I probably imagine that the performers will start maybe around 9. I'm going to do a few songs here. It's not my show. Whoa, Ashley in Africa. What's up, girl? You know what? I'm going to hit you up privately because you know that the next stop on the world tour is South Africa. So I'm planning to come to Johannesburg. So when I have all those details, I already had you coming up. But big shout outs to you so much. She says, greetings, African Superstar and family. Leaders don't get blueprints, we create them. Big shout outs. And Ashley in Africa is doing the damn thing. If you guys don't know her, she's a fellow content creator here, and she offers a lot of services. She's currently based in South Africa with her children. Yes. And she has an amazing YouTube channel. I mean, she's someone who is doing the YouTube thing. Hello. She gets a lot of views, and I'm sure she's earning well from that. But she offers a lot of other services. So please go over. You see the way she just cashed me out on the channel. Hello. Big shout outs to Ashley in Africa. And what she said is totally valid, you know, and it's what I'm talking about today. You know, I tell you guys on many occasions, I just don't have the answers. You know, I don't have the answers. I feel just like this statement. I sit down a lot of times with myself, especially at night, and I'm just like, okay, what's the way forward? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I solve these problems? And what am I going to do? And that's what leaders have to do. And you know, when we win, I mean, when we win and celebrate, it's like a freaking, you know, out of control, because we have really persevered to create those avenues for ourselves and others, you know. But I just have to be real with you when it comes to what we're coming to the continent to do. We need to come with skills and come to with something to offer. You know what I mean? That's what the world expects from us anyway. When we come to Africa, they feel like, oh, you've been in the West, you shouldn't come empty-handed. You know, and I honestly feel that way too, because if you want to make your way happen, you know, you may not come with lots of fiscal resources, but you need to come with something. You know, you need to come with something that's going to be able to pivot you realistically, because I mean, I want you to understand that there's literally no jobs like for you in America, in Africa, that you're accustomed to. You know what I mean? Just being able to go get the fast food job, being able to go get the care work job, being able to go get the warehouse job, you know, even like temporary agencies. I've never seen, I'm not going to say they don't exist, but I don't know where they are in terms of day work, these kind of things in Ghana, you know. So the infrastructure is not there for that, which means you're going to have to figure it out. You know, you're going to have to figure it out, guys. But to those of you that are doing it, I applaud you. I want to just encourage the journey. You know what I'm saying? I know the sleepless nights. I know the lack of finances sometimes. I know. But I'm trying to tell you, man, you got to persevere, because it's either do or be done. That's it. You have young people in your lives. You need to tell them what it is so that they can start preparing, you know, because they probably know when they're teenagers if they like taking instruction or not. They probably know if they have interest that they can, you know, cultivate. Sometimes parents weigh in and try to discourage their kids from things that they have an interest in. Having an interest in something is huge. And with today's market, with social media and stuff, it does give you a much larger platform to really take your niche market or take your interest and do something with it. You know what I mean? So that's what I came to talk to the family about today. I hope to see some of you guys this weekend. Next weekend, I'm in Luton, but I will put that information up after this event. So yes, please do come out, support our performance here. You know, if you are a Ghanaian here in the UK, it'll be a night of great music for you, you know, probably high life classics and things like that. For everyone else, it's going to be a lovely show. I've heard a lot about this restaurant called Rhapsodies. So there's good food there, good people. Come out, you know, see your girl in person. Hello, tangible. Hello, off of online. It's tangible, physical, brick and mortar business and money is what we really need to. Don't let them fool you. All these likes and all this subscribers and all of that, if you can't translate it into physical life, it's nothing, you know, which is why I really don't get wrapped up with this online stuff, because I'm like, if I do a show, for instance, okay, if I have, which I do, I have several of followers online, okay, get several thousand views, blah blah blah, okay, if I do a show and I can't bring nobody to my show, then in my opinion, I'm not a musician. Okay, I'm not the real deal. If I drop an album and nobody buys it, nobody streams the music, okay, I'm not real, in my opinion. It could be I'm from the 90s. So I'm like, I'm not hype about all this online stuff. You know, you guys do know that people buy views, right? Hello. If you guys know that fact, let me see a number 2. I'm about to wrap up for real, seriously. If you guys know that people buy views, let me see a number 2. If you people know they buy subscribers, even sometimes the responses on the videos, you can buy all that stuff. Anybody who's a YouTuber, whatever, has been approached by people, emailed by people that offer, $10 for 1,000 likes, $30 for 50 subscribers. Okay, that's not real. Okay, that's not real stuff. Okay, so I'm interested in, can I throw a show and get my folks to come out and see me? Can I drop an album and people buy it, stream it, listen to it? Okay, this is, you know what I mean? I'm doing tangible. Okay, can I get paid endorsements? You know, can I get paid performances, paid collabos? Okay, this online thing got a lot of people twisted here. All right, use online for what it should be used for, which is a platform for you to broadcast your services. If you are an anomaly and you blow up on YouTube, for instance, or social media, bide your time and do well with your capital. Big shout out to the African Superstar fan. Okay, I'm going to finish these comments and then I'm going to go. Again, special shout outs to Ashley in Africa, sending tangible support. Big shout outs to the family. Yes. Oh, let me go back and see these comments. Hold on. Let's see here. All right. So let's see here. Big shout outs to the family. Cap Hushno says the only way is you do it. That's it. Big shout outs. Thank you, Ashley in Africa. She's doing her thing. I'm very, very proud of her. I remember when she started her channel and I was like, you go, girl. And she's going high in the sky. See, she's got the recipe for this social media. See me, I unfortunately, I'm not that great in social media. I think I'm better at being myself. Not to say she's not, but I mean, all the things that make YouTube better and things like that. Like, for instance, my boy O'Shea, he invests a lot of money in his platform, a lot of money. You know, he's got staff, he's got the top of the line cameras, top of the line computers. He's building a business again, but tangible though. Tangible. You see, if you go down to Kampala, he's got a studio, okay, which is called Kanganda in Uganda, physical studio. You see, so you got to translate. So I'm not particularly that great at it. I would say I'm not really that interested in it either. But Ashley's doing an amazing job with her channel. I'm very, very proud of her. So big shout outs to that. S.A. Smith says number 2, yes, people are buying. Even some of your big favorite musicians and these other people, they buy likes, they buy views. So when you see a person with videos and they've got all these million views and all this stuff, one of the telltale signs I'll tell you guys before I wrap up, okay? One of the things that you can check to know if an account is legit or not is called engagement, okay? So what that means is how the people interact. So if you see an account, which I'm sure you've seen here on YouTube, you see an account and it says they've got like 800,000, subscribers. And then you go on the latest video and they have 10 views. Okay. That's letting you know it's highly unlikely. Normal viewage on YouTube is between, 2 to 3%. Okay. So with me having a platform of over 5,000 people, that would be like at least 100 views on any of my videos, so that's normal action. Now, if I had a platform, again, 800,000 and I'm getting 10 views, 100 views, 300 views, that's letting you know, okay, yeah, you might have subscribers, which a lot of people have purchased, but those people are not actively engaging with your content. So I see a lot of this on Instagram. You see people with the blue verified tick, you see 1 million followers on TikTok or whatever. You go look at their videos, they've had 20 views. Or they had a video out for 3 days and it's like 0 views. So yes, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors on this social media, and you guys shouldn't let it go to your head. I haven't let it go to my head. I'm like, okay, I'm not a real musician, okay, until I can go to an event, get my fans to come or make new fans or get streams or get, whatever. And everything you see on my channel is organic. Okay. So when you see videos that have several thousand views, that's organic. Okay. Because I can't pay for that stuff. I'm not paying for that. So that's actually what motivated me to continue doing music, was my Ghana is Good For Me music video. My Ghana is Good For Me music video generated, it's currently over 7,000 views the last time I looked, and all of that was organic. Okay. It's currently the highest viewed video Well, I had a viral one about the black man at the grocery store, but it's my highest viewed music video. Let me put it like that. So that's what let me know, okay, I can do something with this because it's getting views. It's getting interest. Currently, Heartbreak Wednesday is my most streamed music song with over 6,000 streams on its own. You know what I mean? So I'm getting tangible interaction because I'm not paying for this stuff. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me compound on what is already working. You know, big shout outs to El Troy. Big shout outs. Please do share this with your family. Okay. All right, family. I have rocked with you long enough. It's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for those of you that tuned in this morning. Again, I know some of our American viewers, it's quite early over there. It's early morning for you guys. So good morning. Big shout outs to everybody on the continent watching me, from those back home in Ghana to Miss Ashley in Africa. Big shout outs to all of you. And I wish you well. And I'll see you again very soon. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true. One and only, I'm back again. African superstar on the track. It's the weekend, and ain't no place I'd rather be than here with you, and you here with me. Yeah. 3AB got the sauce, boy. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's the weekend. Here we are again. I tell you what, beach chill never gets old. And guess what, guys? Guess what? One of my really good friends from Columbus did a remix. Yes, he did a remix for Beach Chill. So it's so hot. It's so hot. So I'm deciding on how we gonna. He sent me the verse, and I just need to record it, and I'm gonna drop the remix of Beach Chill. And it's so hard. It's just amazing. So yeah, so Beach Chill, guys, that's my latest music video. It's here on YouTube. It's available for streaming. Go add Beach Chill to your streams, or go purchase Beach Chill if you want to add it to your collection. Yes, Beach Chill, guys. All right, family, until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.